Hi. Almost everyone watches me without a subscription. Please support my channel with a subscription. I try for you. Thank you.
Story 1. My husband regrets getting me pregnant. My husband regrets getting me pregnant. My husband of 7 years and I are expecting a baby, but he's lost almost all excitement and it's breaking my heart. He's always wanted to be a daddy from the day we started dating, but I have a long-term chronic illness, so we made sure this little baby was very planned and we had everything set up to help me face the challenges that come with a harder pregnancy. At first he was so excited, falling asleep with his hand on my tummy and just genuinely over the moon, but then I started to get sick. All that love and excitement turned to fear and he blames himself. I keep trying to tell him that I knew all of this could happen before we started trying and I made the choice to go through with this. He keeps saying, if it's you or the baby, I'm saving you, I can't live without you, and you could have happily lived your life with a pack of dogs and me. This is my fault and it just breaks my heart. He said pregnancy is meant to be a magical experience and this is anything but magic. He's already planned to get a vasectomy and doesn't want another baby or to try again if this one doesn't make it. I know it hasn't been easy on him watching me get everything that could go wrong in a pregnancy go wrong for me, and I know he feels helpless, but I'm scared he's resenting our baby for putting me through this. I wish there was some way I could reassure him and get his excitement back. All I can do is let him help me in any way that makes him feel like he has some control in a situation where no one can control what's going to happen next. Wish I wasn't sick, but that's just part of who I am, and he unfortunately fell in love with the sick girl. We're each other's whole world and I hate that I can't give him the magical experience he wanted. I wish I was magic. Update. So I had a chat with my husband like a lot of you suggested, and I think we both feel a little bit better. He told me how excited he is and that he loves our little baby already so much it's just hard for him to see the love of his life struggle. He believes once baby and I are in the all clear and I'm making a full recovery, all that fear and anxiety will go away. He apologized for worrying me because he's worried about me and explained it's just hard because he sees me at my most vulnerable when it's too much and I can't hide how hard it is. I explained to him how even very healthy people can have a lot of problems during pregnancy and that my body is doing far better than we expected. Our medical team is really happy with where I am and how we are coping, and that I understand it's the unknown that's causing the anxiety. He seems a lot lighter now and we've really gotten to the root of his worries. Hopefully I can carry our little one full term, another 8 to 10 weeks, but if the worst happened, I had a big flare-up that triggers early labor. Baby is at 30 weeks and has a large medical team ready for them at any given moment, so the odds are very in baby's favor. I did just want to address a few questions people have had to put your mind at ease. My condition isn't genetic, so baby is perfectly healthy and we get scans and testing done to monitor him and me to make sure he's still happy swimming around in there. We have spoken to 3 specialists and done years of research before considering all options. One specialist suggested the hormones your body creates while pregnant could possibly reprogram my neural pathways and help my condition. It's a very slim chance, so we chose to try once before going down the adoption route. My husband is very serious about the vasectomy and I respect his choice, and we've decided if we want another child down the line we will either adopt or open our home to foster care. I'm pretty sure that's all I've got for now. I've been requested to update when baby comes along and let you know how I do. Keep all the positive thoughts for me. I know I've definitely planned for the worst, but expecting the best. Thank you for all chatting to me and sharing your stories. It genuinely helped to see we weren't alone in feeling this and that others have made it through. I value your input so much. Update to Fu by making love to my husband. I'm currently 31 weeks pregnant and my husband has been too scared to have sex with me. I'm high risk, so he sees me as completely fragile and hasn't had sex with me for weeks. Pregnancy hormones have made me twirly, so we have done other things, but I really miss the connection and intimacy of sex. We have such a good sex life, and so in a fit of pregnancy hormones, I started crying asking him to touch me. Now this man would bend over backward to make me happy, and make me happy he did. After my first climax, he laid back ready to complete himself. Now this is where I might have fucked up. I climbed on top and it was good, like really good. Until the gush. I didn't think much about it at the time and went to sleep. It wasn't until 4 a.m. when I was still very wet that I thought, oh no, I might have FD up. So now I'm sitting here waiting to be tested to see if sex with my husband was just really good or if he broke my waters. If the test comes back negative, he will never find out I was worried, or he'll won't touch me again until the baby arrives. I'm definitely going to be more careful and not get carried away on his magic ride. TLDR convinced my husband to have sex with me 31 weeks pregnant. Don't know if he blew my mind or broke my waters. Update, just got back from the hospital, had all the testing and lots of cheeky smiles from the nurses. Turns out he's just that good, folks. The cup and a half full of liquid that had me worried and my bed soaked was all him and pregnancy hormones. He's definitely more freaked than the doctors were, and he has me on a strict on my side with plenty of support if we get intimate again. Though the doctors say everything is fine and sex shouldn't be a problem for us with my condition. They reassured me I did the right thing coming in, and that if any more cough gushing were to happen, definitely come back and get checked again. I'm minutes away from my hospital, so no one worry. I'm well looked after and my baby is super happy and healthy. Story 2. I'm leaving my boyfriend over a prank. I'm still shaken up, so if this doesn't make much sense, I apologize. TW for suicide. I, 18F, have been with my boyfriend, 20M, for almost 2 years. I moved in with him last August, and things have been pretty rocky. My whole life I've struggled with my mental health, specifically depression, anxiety, and self-harm. I've been clean for a while though. I also have a history of trauma, but I don't need to get into that. I made sure my boyfriend knew this when we started dating, because I wanted him to be able to nope out of the relationship if that was too much for him to deal with. He assured me it wasn't an issue. He never seemed to really get the whole mental health thing though. He would make comments saying stuff like depression is just spicy sad and people with trauma should just get over it. He also thinks that only veterans can get PTSD. I've tried explaining things to him, but he just brushes me off, so I do the best to ignore him. Recently, he started watching couple prank channels on YouTube, and he started pranking me. At first, it was just small things like putting way too much flavor in my water or salt in a bite of my food. I laughed it off, it didn't really bother me. But then he started jumping out and scaring me. That kind of stuff really affects me sometimes because of my PTSD, and I tried to explain that to him. He would apologize, but do it again the next day. I was getting annoyed and frustrated, but I tried to let it be. Things escalated when last week when he put some noisemakers under the toilet seat in the middle of the night. I woke up to go to the bathroom and sat down, boom. It being late at night, me being half awake, and the loud noise all mixed together and gave me a full-blown panic attack. I was on the bathroom floor crying and having flashbacks. After I don't know how long I stopped crying and was just staring into space, having flashbacks. He came in because I guess he noticed I was gone for a while. When he saw me sitting on the floor, he remembered his little prank and started laughing. I just stared at him for a second, got up and called him an ass. I slept in the living room the rest of the night. The next day I sat him down and I told him he cannot keep scaring me like this. No more jumping out at me, no more loud noises. He pretty much sighed and rolled his eyes, but he said he would stop. Everything was fine for a week. I thought this whole prank thing was finally over. Yesterday I got home from being out with a friend, actually feeling better for the first time in a while. When I walked in the house, all the lights were off, so I assumed he was still at work, which isn't abnormal because sometimes he works late. I plugged my phone in because it died on my way back home, and when it powered on I got a notification that he sent me a text. It just read, "So sorry, I love you." I replied saying it's okay, I'll see you when you get home, love you. And I heard his phone ding in the bathroom. That was weird, I thought. I got up to go get his phone, and when I got into the bathroom, I saw him laying in the bathtub. The bath was full of water, there was an empty bottle of pills on the sink, and he was covered in blood. His wrists were cut and there was just so much blood. My heart just sank. I started having a panic attack. I was hyperventilating, crying, and I was just frozen. After a minute, I ran to the living room to get my phone to call 911, and I hear splashing and then laughter. I turned around to see him standing in the hallway just laughing. He said he got me and I should have seen the look on my face. I don't even know how to describe the feelings I was experiencing. I was so mad and sad and scared. I didn't even say anything, I just walked out of the house. I just kept walking and eventually I figured I needed to call my friend to come get me. At first I didn't tell her what happened, I just told her I needed her to come get me, it was an emergency. She came and took me back to her house where I'm at now. My boyfriend keeps calling me and he sent me some texts saying he was sorry and it was just a joke and I'm overreacting and I need to come home. I'm not answering. I don't even know what I would say to him. My friend is going over to his house tomorrow to get my things when he's at work. She said I can stay with her however long I need. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just feel numb. Update: I ended up sending my now ex-boyfriend a text saying that he crossed the line and I don't want to hear from him again. I blocked him on everything after sending that, and I'm planning on changing my number tomorrow. My friend went over to his house around noon today with her boyfriend and was able to retrieve most of my stuff without issue. She got all my personal documents, sentimental items, medication, and clothes. The only things she wasn't able to grab were the TV and Xbox I paid for, because I'm not sure how I can go about getting those back without him accusing me of stealing them. I'm not sure that fight is even worth it right now. Before she left, she put my copy of his house key on the kitchen table so he knew I didn't have it. She wanted to unplug his fridge and all his appliances just to make things harder for him, but I told her not to. I really don't want to add fuel to this fire. His mom reached out to me to ask what was going on. Apparently, he called her and told her that I had some sort of mental breakdown and ran away, and that he was worried about me. I told her what happened and what he did. She was pissed. She said she thought she raised him better than that, and that she was sorry he did what he did. She said that if I need anything I can let her know and she'll do what she can do to help me. I guess his mom told his older sister what happened and she also reached out to me to apologize for his behavior. I wasn't close to her, but I met her a few times and she's a really nice person. She offered to help with anything I needed and told me that she was going to make sure everyone knows what actually happened. I told her it wasn't necessary, but I appreciate it, but she said she wasn't going to let her brother get away with this. I'm not going to argue, so I thanked her. For the most part, I've just been lying in bed today. I'm so exhausted, physically and emotionally. I wish I had left him sooner. There were red flags that I just ignored. I guess I was afraid of being alone, I don't know. I'm trying not to blame myself for this whole situation, but I feel like I put myself in this position. This is what I get. I'm not expecting much else to happen. God, I hope nothing else happens. I'll probably give one more update in a few days as long as things have cooled down. If something significant happens, you'll hear from me.
Please subscribe, leave comments, rate videos, and click the bell not to miss my videos.